Man. Oh, look at that. Oh, you even got the Punisher soundtrack, man. That takes me back. Well, I'm very excited to talk to you. Before we get into your upcoming live stream, here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. I want to know where your passion for music came from, led you to this amazing journey being a drummer for two iconic rock bands. Was a certain album inspired, a certain live performance, or something that was just naturally for you as a child?
Man, it was just music, and I think my parents, for the longest time, tried to figure out what to do with this kid because really, my parents were musicians, and we had some artists in the family, but no one that did anything sort of, that side of your brain for a living, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so it became the quest to kind of figure out what are we going to do with this kid, uh, from the earliest age, man, I must have been 3 or 4. I had a portable record player. It was like a little suitcase, kind of like those Crosleys that you can find now. Little suitcase that I would pack up and I would take everywhere. I would take to my grandparents. I had it at home, and I had those typical 45s, as you have as a kid, you know, uh, storytelling 45s and different things. But oddly enough, man, I became an Elvis fan, and I don't know where that came from. I really don't know how that happened. Maybe I saw him on TV when I was a kid or something. But my parents say that the first album I asked for was an Elvis record. So go figure.
Interesting.
So yeah, and I was born in the early '70s. So some of the first music I ever heard, my mom was real into the folk scene. So it was like Simon and Garfunkel, Jim Croce, and then like in there Elvis. Then later on, of course, I discovered rock. But really, I just fell in love with music from a really early age. So my mom got me into piano as far as lessons. So as a
Mhm.
kid, I started taking piano, and I kind of got my foundation for music there. I tried guitar for a little while, but then about middle school, man, there was a drum corps at our school. They would play all the football games. They do all the big cadences, and it was coupled with the love for drum corps there at middle school and rock. I got into to rock and roll, and it just sort of a perfect storm. And I became a drummer, and I was about 13 when I had my first rock band. So that's
Oh
kind of what
wow.
started me on my path.
Do you remember the name of that rock band from back then?
I think the first name we had, it was pretty bad. We were called Fury.
Well, it's cool, I guess, and your son's kind of taken your passion for this and kind of followed your journey too, right?
Yes, yes. My oldest is a drummer. Both of them are musicians, actually. And then
Okay.
my younger son, Jet, he's 16. He's a bass player. He
Okay.
plays upright bass in orchestra in school, and he plays bass. So we're the Humphrey rhythm section. So we have drums and bass here at the house. And
Oh, that's awesome.
so yeah, my oldest is following me as far as drums, and then Jet, his name's Jackson, and then Jet is my
Okay.
bass player.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Jackson like fill in for the Nixons once while you were on tour of Seether? Or I think that's
Yeah,
right.
exactly. So, when the Nixon's reunion happened in 2017, things sort of snowballed. We started writing new music, and we started, initially it was just a couple of shows, and that sort of snowballed into doing more shows and working on new music. So we wanted to start booking some things, and Seether is known, like most
Mhm.
of the world up until the last 2 years, or the last year anyway, for touring, we're nonstop.
Yeah.
So I would book something with the Nixons, and rather than having to cancel the show, or I don't know, finding a sub or something, I suggested my oldest son to fill in, which was perfect. He's a great drummer, and so yeah, that's what happened. He's filled in maybe. Well, he did a tour at the end of 2019 with him, a week long tour, almost 2 weeks actually, on the East Coast, and then a couple of shows here and there. So I always have him as a backup, and we keep it in the family. It's
That is
he's a
so
great drummer, and
cool.
he's my son, and
Yeah.
the fans get a kick out of it. And
Mhm.
he comes home and he tells me, "Man, there's a bunch of people, Dad, telling me all these crazy stories about the last time they saw you, or seeing you for the
Uh-oh.
first time, or whatever."
Nothing
And
too
he's like, "I have
embarrassing.
no idea who they are. They talk like they've known you forever." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I kind of had this life before you were born."
That is so cool. Before we get into live stream, 2020 was kind of a down year for most people, but I guess for you, because Nixon's had Sonic Boom EP, and then Seether released an amazing album that, as someone who's dyslexic, I can't pronounce. Well, how do you? What's the title of the album?
Sivi pacem parabellum.
Yeah.
It's Latin.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want peace, prepare for war. Sean's giving us a
Oh,
Latin lesson. Yeah.
very cool. I have to say, you guys just for Seether, I guess, just did a fan version for the single "Dangerous," which a bunch of people set in stuff into, and it's cool. But also, I'm a former drummer. Did no one submit drums, or was that just too hard to sync up for that? You know?
I think it was too hard to sync up.
Yeah.
I think they kept it, yeah, guitars and bass and stuff, and yeah, I think the drums replacing that might have been a little tricky, and it was tricky enough as it was. I remember well, we all watched it. We were all blown away by all the submissions first, and then how they put it all together. And the people that kind of edit our videos, man, they had their work cut out for them. There were so many entries to try to figure out and get placed and everything. It was awesome. I'm glad it turned out amazing, and it was so cool that so many people participated. But I think it was a major undertaking for whoever had to edit and put that thing together.
Oh, absolutely. Well, for the Nixons, the Sonic Boom, I really liked their new song, Ghost of an Angel. I mean, the music video was amazing. I love it. All it was black and white. I guess talk about writing that, because I know the other two of the songs on the EP were like from older songs that you just put into, I guess, this. But this song is so good. Talk about the writing of Ghost of an Angel. I love that, just a fresh little drum part in there.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm proud of it, man. I mean, again, going back to the reunion and didn't really know what was going to happen next, and just knew that these guys were kind of back in my life. We were back in each other's life and didn't want it to change. And now we were able to sort of work on music remotely, where we are kind of scattered. I'm in Oklahoma, the singer Zac's in Nashville. And, but I went into a studio here locally. I have a friend, he's a great engineer, and we recorded some drums. We did have one rehearsal where we and we were preparing for a show, I forget which one, where we ran through those 5 new songs, and we just got an arrangement ironed out. Because initially Zac would send out ideas and Ricky would send out stuff, and then Zac, he was just him and an acoustic guitar playing Ghost. And it was a cool piece, but Ricky and Jesse came up with the idea of like, look, let's make it super dynamic. We'll have just the acoustic sort of verses, and then these huge choruses that'll come in.
Yeah.
Sort of dissonant chords and everything, this real contrast. And to make the song really unique, I'm proud of these 5 songs. I think they all each, have their own character. They're very unique. But thank you for the compliment on Ghost. I'm pretty proud of that track. It's very unique. And I think it turned out really well.
Cool. So you have a live stream, I guess February 19th, so this Friday. And you have a little teaser video on there. It looks like there's some pyro or something's on fire in that. Like where is this recorded at some warehouse, I assume, in Oklahoma, or?
Yeah. We shot this at a warehouse. A friend of ours, a production company here in Oklahoma City called Toucan Production, invited us. He does lighting and gear. He has bands and artists that take his equipment out, tour all over the world. He has stuff here for our basketball team, the Thunder, our NBA team here in Oklahoma City, to shows in Vegas. But like everyone else, no touring's going on, no performances. So he's got this warehouse full of equipment. And he invited us to like, hey, man, you guys can do whatever you want. You want to have a show or a live stream? You're welcome to my stuff. It was amazing. And so the production, we had all kinds of toys to play with. We have these LED display walls behind us and a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, we just decided what set list we were going to do. And we decided to do a couple of surprise cuts for fans, a couple of deep cuts that we haven't played in 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, a couple of surprises and this amazing production they let us use. And we just went into this warehouse in Oklahoma City and just, had a blast.
Now, so this is already recorded, but there's supposed to be like some stories and dialogue. Is there going to be like ways fans can interact with you guys during it, or before or after?
Yeah, we are doing, there is a package on there for a VIP meet and greet Zoom prior to the live stream. So those are still available if anybody wants to get on and chat with us a couple hours prior to the actual event, which will be 7:00 Central Friday night. But the actual live stream itself, Seether did one, more like a show where we played the set and we had production, a similar thing. It's a little different without having an audience there, but you kind of close your eyes and just the excitement of being able to play is almost enough anymore. I mean, it can't take place of a live show. But we wanted it to be special. So having had my experience with Seether and having seen some live streams, we didn't want it to just be us running through a set list. We wanted it to be special and different. So Ricky's brother Andy he edited, put it all together, and he asked us to record some, us talking, some stories, personal things, maybe memories of some songs, maybe just thematically having to do with life, or maybe a song, and just something more personable and personal, something maybe the fans haven't already heard or familiar with. We wanted it to be special. So in addition to doing the songs, it's going to be intertwined with each of us at different times, talking and just maybe recollecting a story or the creation of a song. And
it makes it more
I will
special.
say,
it
it makes it different, and it's just not plowing through songs.
Yeah.
And I mean, I will say visually and sonically, man, it's the best visual document there is of the band. It sounds, it looks fantastic. But with that added element of us talking and telling stories, talking about a song, I think it just makes it special, man. Makes it real special.
I love it. All right. Well, everyone go to the nixonsofficial.com. You can get all the information and get your ticket packages if you want to do the VIP Zoom beforehand. Anything else in the works you're allowed to talk about before I let you go? Or
well, we'll just have to see kind of how it goes. Either hopefully maybe, well, both bands actually. I hope there's some dates maybe later in the year. Talking to a booking agent earlier and just said didn't want to throw the towel in for this year yet. Just didn't want to give up. Hopefully summer, and by fall maybe we can look forward to some shows coming back. So yes, fingers crossed, and I really hope both bands get to play. And if I'm not able to do Nixon's, my son will be there. But either way, I look forward to just playing and doing what I do and being behind those drums once again.
Amen to that. All right. Thank you so much, man. Take your time. Talk to me. All right. We'll talk hopefully maybe at a concert at some point down the road,
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's good talking to you.